Hey, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Steven.
This is a really, really awesome episode of Cheers, something that we've been looking forward to for ages, huh?
Dude, I can't wait. We have some really cool guests on tonight.
Yeah, it's one of our most anticipated episodes with my girlfriend, Kerry-Anne, who's a model. She's a philanthropist. She's an incredible person who's done amazing things for charities and just always an amazing person to talk to. And her sister, Kristy, who is a high school teacher. She has a big interest in history and a great wide knowledge in history, which we definitely want to talk about.
We got some really interesting topics today. I understand that Kerry-Anne and Kristy both have incredible spiritual journeys, different spiritual experiences that we're going to question them and learn more about. And Kristy is going to share her incredible wealth of knowledge and history, and we might just pick her mind and see what stories we can unveil.
100%. I think a lot of them are going to be informative and some of them are going to be fun and funny also. Really looking forward to it.
But you know what? Let's get it a little wild. Let's do all of this while drinking some vodka.
Ah, yes, vodka.
I've got here a bottle of Beluga straight out of the freezer. How about you?
I think it's called Outer Space and it's got a cool alien head on it. Not the best quality vodka, but it looks pretty cool and gets the job done. I'll be drinking that with some lemonade. And Kerry-Anne and Kristy will be drinking a very classy vodka and tonic.
Wow. Can't wait.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Looking forward to it. Cheers.
Since we're doing vodka, do you guys want to do a Russian toast?
Oh, na zdrowie.
Yeah.
He was just showing me that. He just sent me a link. He's like, oh, that's how you say cheers Russian.
Nice. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie.
That's
Na zdrowie.
I actually only tried Fireball for the first time this year.
What?
Yeah. It was amazing.
But
It's crazy because I love cinnamon.
yeah, and I bought a whole bottle
I know.
ages ago.
That was at the double date, wasn't it? With Steven?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice.
I miss the nerd shots from Milky Lane.
Right?
Oh, so good. Yeah, and it tastes amazing. It has like a sourness to it.
Oh, I've seen them making those. They
Yeah,
just let it sit in the vodka for a long time, right?
I think
Yeah.
so.
So, yeah.
And it takes on the colour of the actual candy as well.
Mhm.
They do that with Skittles a lot.
Yeah, what about that thing where they put the gummy bears in vodka?
That can give you the
Yeah.
run.
I've done vodka jello shots before. They're a nightmare to make though, but definitely worth
Okay.
it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love vodka jello shots. I'm not the biggest fan of vodka by itself, so whenever it's mixed with something, it's always better.
I've only had Jello shots one time, and the person made them wrong, so they were actually just like jelly.
Yeah.
It was just solidified, and it wasn't a
Oh.
good experience.
Oh no.
So it wasn't like alcoholic?
It was alcohol and jelly. It was like just straight gelatin alcohol.
It had set. It was
It was
completely
set.
set.
Yeah,
So you have to eat it.
Oh, okay.
not to eat it. Exactly.
Eating vodka. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Christy hates black sambuca. I love black sambuca though. She hates the licorice flavors.
No, gross.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You like
You know
it
what?
yourself?
You guys have mentioned the two drinks that we do as our Saint and Apex shot, Black Sambuca and Fireball.
That's the two shots we always get if we go out. So it's the only two shots I can have without gagging immediately.
We
Okay.
always get the worst looks, but
Yeah, it works for us.
Well, I get Fireball. I've never been into licorice.
Mm.
Fireball's great.
Well, I'm the person who buys the packets of straight black jelly beans.
That's
so-
disgusting.
It's my favorite thing though.
No.
Licorice can be good, yeah.
What? No, you see, I demolish a whole packet of black jelly beans.
I think you're a poser.
No, bro.
That's fine.
licorice or Twizzlers? What would you go for?
Twizzlers.
Yeah, Twizzlers. I mean, I know it's still licorice, but it's a different kind of licorice.
It's not real.
You know what?
It's a poser.
I reckon I was when it was Easter, I went to the shops and they were selling the Daryl Lee Easter eggs, and I saw
Yeah.
the worst Easter egg I've ever seen in my entire life. There were these Easter eggs and they had little bits of black licorice in them.
Uh-huh.
That's disgusting. Are they trying to get kids upset?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
It was like, this is an abomination. This is what gives kid trust issues.
Yeah, can you imagine? Oh, here's your Easter eggs, kid, and then you eat it and it tastes like
The poor child.
Who comes
It's
up
like
with
getting
these
hot
things?
cross buns with raisins instead of chocolate chips.
Right? It's so
And
disgusting.
the actual like cross on the hot cross buns, I only recently discovered it was just flour and water. It was never
Yeah.
icing.
I thought it was icing.
I
What?
thought it was icing too.
Upset.
It looks so appetizing, and then it's just like disappointment.
It's just flour and water.
Yeah.
I've been betrayed.
I know. Bloody trust issues for days now.
Right? Who can you trust?
Not Baker's Delight, apparently.
Yeah, it's so good to have you two on. We've been waiting to have you on for ages.
I'm so looking forward to it as
Oh,
well.
I'm so excited.
Mhm.
Like especially the topics that we've come up with to like cover, like because we know you guys love history and we love history too, and we love like spirituality. It's such a deep topic, and then like to come up with the idea of doing mythology and spirituality is just a really cool.
Absolutely, because the two are very closely intertwined as well.
Without a doubt, like it just shows that even from the beginning of humanity, spirituality always had a place.
Oh, definitely.
I think what mythology is, it plays a big part in what makes us who we are, right? Mythologies shape our understanding of what.
Well, yeah, mythology
Morality.
shapes the beliefs. So a lot of the things that we like do today, like those are practices that we have, we base it off these legends or myths we grew up with.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Like when we start talking about Egyptian mythology, some of the practices to do with mummification is based off legends.
Oh, what type of legends?
So like with the canopic jars, so like when you mummify someone and you put their organs in canopic jars, it actually is directly related to the story of when the god Seth actually killed his brother, Osiris.
Oh, yeah.
And after he killed off his brother, he actually took his brother's organs and offered them to Anubis. And ever since that point, it has been a common practice to harvest the organs out of the body and then give them as an offering to Anubis in the canopic jars. So he'll protect them.
That's
You know
amazing.
how insane that is when you think
That's
about the
right.
fact that also prevents the body from decaying rapidly. That's
Yeah.
now a common practice for embalming as well.
Mhm. And it's also very similar to Hindu practices as well, because with Hinduism, with the whole Hindu funeral practice, we cut up a sovereign into 7 pieces, and we use that sovereign for passage to the next life.
Really?
Yeah,
didn't
it
know
also
that.
that's also like a close thing of paying the ferryman from Greek mythology.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah, I've always loved that with Greek mythology, the idea that they would put 2 coins on someone's eyes to take to the ferryman to
Yeah.
get taken to the other world.
Mhm. With the Hindu practice, we cut up the coin into 7 pieces. We put 1 underneath each eyelid, 1 in each nostril, 1 in the mouth, and 1 in each ear.
Oh, so each hole in the face.
That's right.
Wow. I've seen some Hindu funerals, but to be fair, I haven't been involved very much. You know, if I had known that, I would have, I suppose, paid attention a bit more and asked questions about that. That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of hard though. Like, through the funerals that I've been to, I don't really like, my understanding of Hindi is sort of limited to what I've learned from movies and kind of, listening. So I've never really always like felt comfortable to ask the questions. Like,
Right.
what are you guys doing? What's the point of this thing? And
Mhm.
also everyone's crying, so I don't know how
That's
to
true.
And you
approach
don't want to
it.
be rude, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
What sort of Hindi movies do you watch, by the way, now that you bring that up?
I love the early 2000s when it came to Bollywood cinema. So I have like a whole bunch of movies with like Kajol and Shah Rukh Khan when he was like at his height.
Mhm.
Nice, yeah. Did you watch Dostana?
Yes. Oh my God. Those sounds
Freaking
hilarious.
loved that movie.
But I mean, it's really a ripoff of I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, but
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's good. I love the mum. Like, she's so upset.
The mom's, like, she's gifts for days.
Mhm.
I always look her up. If you look up Auntie saying Nahi, yeah, she shows up.
Yeah. Oh man, it's a great film. It's a great one. Dostana.
My favorite is Om Shanti Om.
Oh, love
Yeah.
Om Shanti Om.
That's literally my favorite Bollywood movie.
Oh my god.
It's my favorite.
No,
That's
my
a Shah Rukh
favorite.
Khan, right?
Yeah, that's Shah
And
Rukh.
Doom is also nice.
Oh yeah, Hantum.
I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation, so I'll get Kristy to pronounce it. The one with Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol, Dilwali.
Duhalyan Le Jayenge.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I
That
can't
one
pronounce it
is
either.
essential viewing.
And it's a classic. And you know, in Britain, it ever since it came out in like the UK, it played every day in a theater for years.
Mhm.
Every day.
You know,
Wow.
when I was little, I actually thought that they were in real life a couple. I thought that they were soulmates. And then when my mom told me that they weren't in real life a couple, I got angry at her.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why aren't they together?
It was like another trust issue situation.
Yeah, that's right.
Legitimate heartbreak.
Mhm.
But then you kind of see like their new movie where they paired up again in Dilwale.
Yeah.
God, that was so bad.
Oh, that was horrible. We were so looking forward to them reprising their role together. And it's just like, man, horrible. The chemistry's gone.
Completely gone. I was so upset.
Do you feel like Kajol's like not interested in her acting career as much these days? She's doing a lot
I don't
more.
think it's
with-
that. I feel as though the whole, I'm not sure.
I think the industry's changing.
It is changed.
I feel like a lot of the Bollywood movies we're seeing now, they're trying so hard to kind of almost be like these stupid Netflix movies you're seeing.
True that.
Yeah.
So I feel like Kajol's like I will just say it, she's too good to be in that stuff.
Yeah,
She's-
she's such a talented actress. She absolutely is.
And I respect her because even though she comes from a family of established actors and actresses,
She made her own way.
she made her own way. She didn't use her family's connections to get into the business.
That's
she
right.
did it by herself.
Mhm.
Initially, she was in a couple of Tamil movies too.
Yeah.
Yes, she was.
So I remember as a kid watching that.
Mhm.
They were her earliest movies, those ones.
Yeah, they were.
They were good.
One thing that I do love about the Bollywood actors and actresses, with especially Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol, is I can always see them wearing their religious medallions in every movie, which just shows you that they always have such a strong spiritual connection,
Mm.
which I think is absolutely amazing as well.
That's
I
admirable.
like how you brought it full
definitely.
circle back to religion.
Of course.
Mm.
Do you have a favorite Bollywood movie?
That's tough for me. I love Dostana.
Yep.
I love Don.
Done. Oh my god. Which one? The one with Shah Rukh or the one with Amitabh Bachchan?
Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
I love Amitabh Bachchan, but I just feel like sometimes like he's overly praised.
I agree with that. Like he could just look at the camera and you're like, oh my god, brilliant, amazing,
Yeah.
stunning.
Like you know that opening to Dostana where like the song Bounce Baby Bounce is playing? And it's
Yeah.
just like Amitabh Bachchan like walking around. Meanwhile, like Abraham is like
Oh, John
full-
Abraham, yeah.
John Abraham is like full working out, like doing
Yeah.
handstands and stuff.
But even in a lot of Shah Rukh's movies, he's doing that a lot.
Yeah, but Shah Rukh can act.
He can act. Absolutely, yeah.
Shah Rukh's an amazing actor. Whilst, for example, Abhishek Bachchan, I feel like he only got in because of his dad. Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
really remember many films where I'm like, oh my god, Abhishek Bachchan was such an amazing part of this movie.
Mm,
There's none. I can really
true.
like he's in good movies, but I don't remember the movies because of him.
Yeah.
No offense, Abhishek.
I think one of the best classic Bollywood films, is it Kalnayak?
Kalnayak, yeah.
Yeah.
But that also has as an overrated actress, in my opinion.
Majori.
Yeah, she overacts the buggery.
It's got some of the best music in it though.
Yeah, it does, but you know, everyone goes, "Oh, Madhuri's like one of the best Bollywood actresses," but
She does overact.
she's
in
so
that.
melodramatic. I can't even.
Mm-hmm.
She's like that chick, that meme.
Oh my god. I have to send I showed Daniel our clip.
It's amazing.
Hey Daniel, do you remember that clip I showed you with that melodramatic slap? And then
Oh yes, that was incredible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She goes to the curtains and starts
And like
stroking
starts
herself.
choking herself.
I've seen that.
Oh my gosh. It's
I feel like that's
amazing.
Madhuri's acting. Oh man, that's very controversial. We have like a lot of people come after me for that one.
Mm.
And also the Doom series was awesome.
Doom, yeah.
And that movie, Krish.
Yeah, I was about to say Krish. Like that was a good one too. I mean, it's basically a rip-off of Superman, but it's fun.
Yeah, it
Oh.
was fun. I remember Daniel and I watched Doom 3, And I think we really enjoyed the action sequences because that was also Hrithik Roshan's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, from like what I've seen, like Bollywood action scenes are like incredible. They do like I feel like Hollywood stuff has just fallen under such cliche stuff, and like watching some Bollywood actions like such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, they put their all in action films. It's more the stuff that's kind of like more the lighthearted sort of thing. Like the romantic comedies are really failing at the moment in Bollywood. In my opinion, anyway.
I'll always say that when it comes to Bollywood, absolutely nothing can beat the fashion.
Yes.
Nothing can beat Bollywood fashion.
Oh, actually, here's a topic. What are we thinking about Priyanka Chopra making such a big splash in Hollywood? I'm not here for it.
Okay.
I'm not here for it. I'm telling you, she's getting her job because she's married to a Jonas brother.
You reckon it's because of Nick Jonas?
Yes. Have you seen that new Baywatch movie?
Yeah, I saw that.
God, no.
I thought it was really forced.
It was so bad.
I respect her because we both do pageants, and she does do a lot with motivational speaking.
That's good.
She's very well spoken in the motivational field.
She does. She was Miss Universe before, wasn't she?
I think she was Miss World.
Miss World, right.
The Miss Universe was Aishwarya Rai and I think Lara Dutta. That's right, isn't it?
Aishwarya Rai is so talented.
Aishwarya Rai was Miss World.
Was she?
Let me just fact check myself.
I might be wrong. They might not be a Miss Universe.
There was someone who was a Miss Universe.
Lara Dutta was Miss Universe.
Okay,
and she had the absolute best pageant answer that I've ever heard. And also, Aishwarya Rai is, to this day, in my opinion, the best Miss World to ever reign. And she actually got the Lifetime Achievement Award because after her reign, she still does charity work. There are many pageant girls who, after their reign, they just retire and they stop working with the brands, but she continues to work with them. And I think that's just so amazing.
That's so amazing.
Do you remember what her answer was?
Lara Dutta, they asked her, it was a controversial question about the controversy of women competing in pageants. And then her answer was like, I think that pageants like the Miss Universe pageant provide a platform for women. It provides women a platform to better themselves. And then she brought women in the armed forces onto the stage. And it was the best answer.
That's beautiful. So she's kind of implying you can embrace femininity while being powerful.
Absolutely. She pretty much women from all walks of life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really inspiring.
Absolutely.
That's what you need, right? Powerful role models like that, where young girls can look up to.
Exactly.
Especially now. The climate right now is disgusting. I'm not impressed.
All right. I'm glad someone else has the same track of mind. Because I'm thinking the way society is heading in terms of how young people are having role models and impressions is just horrible.
It is. It's horrible. And it's actually creating a divided world.
Yeah.
It's going against the idea of unity. They're saying they're doing it for betterment, but they're actually making it so much worse because they're causing tensions between genders. They're causing tension between different races. It's ridiculous. I've never
agree with that. Like they hide behind this, like, oh yeah, we're doing it to make everyone feel so free and valued. But really what they're doing is trying to push their own agendas and belittling everyone who doesn't agree with them.
Exactly. Yeah. It's really off-putting. And I'm sick of all this virtue signaling. And then they're just like, yes, aren't we the best people in the world because we've done this? But really what they're saying is we're better than these people, or if you believe in this, you are a scumbag and all this kind of stuff. It's ridiculous.
Right.
All right.
Like division is like the best word for it. I've never seen the world so divided in every single aspect, whether it's gender, whether it's politics, whether it's anything really. It's sad.
Definitely.
The thing is, the idea behind it is good. Like, I think that trying to make everyone come together, the original idea, bringing everyone together with diversity. Do you know what I mean? Trying to bring everyone together, trying to make everyone's voices be heard. But then again, like, it's always one extreme or the other. That's what always happens.
Yeah. I'm like just during the day, like as a teacher, I'm getting really fed up with what they're doing in curriculums lately, where they're really pushing this sort of agenda stuff. And there's like a rumor that there's a possibility of critical race theory being taught in Australia. No. Critical race theory basically is seeing that making people who are white sit there and feel crap because they're white. How is that a positive message to send to anybody?
It isn't at all.
That's really heading in the wrong direction. I really hope they don't actually introduce that. My little brother is in year 10 right now, and he already comes home with stories about school where I literally have to sit down and have talks with him like for hours and trying to explain to him the state of the world and give him guidance, because I feel like our schooling system is not doing a great job by pushing things that shouldn't be pushed onto kids at the age that they're at.
Oh, 110%. And I know it's very controversial for me to be saying this, but I will bloody well say it. Like, I'm a history teacher. And even the stuff that I have to teach is a very skewed version of history. Mm-hmm. History is written by the victors, and it's always manipulated by the people who want to push new narratives. So, like, for example, when the Black Lives Matter movement happened, right? Okay, that's fine. That can happen. But then there was a push to try and censor the history of like America's Civil War history. How is censoring history going to help anybody?
Well, just because it doesn't sound nice, we just pretend it didn't happen.
It doesn't work with their agenda.
Yeah. And then there's like this controversial thing recently, like with the Me Too movement, it definitely allowed a lot of women who experienced bad things to kind of bring their voices forward and actually be heard, which is great. But then you also have those people who are exploiting stuff like that, like Amber Heard. I will just say it, although you might need to censor that because, you know, Amber Heard's name's kind of like poison on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. Can't say it. So AH.
Right.
AH.
Like the Voldemort treatment.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
AH totally exploited the system and did that to progress her career. And there's actually a new case where there was this other person involved in like gaming and all that. She destroyed this guy, completely destroyed his career. And now it's been proven that she was full of shit. She even made a comment where she said, "Oh, I am so upset. I'm crying about how now we're in a world where people who've been accused of doing stuff to women have the ability to actually find evidence to defend themselves."
You know what?
Like, what the hell?
That's one thing that always makes me so upset, especially with domestic abuse. It goes both ways. Both men and women get abused, right? And the thing with men, especially who get abused, is that over 80% of cases go unreported. And it's an even larger number than that. And it's so upsetting because there's this whole
stigma.
There's this whole stigma that men have to be stronger than that. And it's ridiculous. And it's so upsetting to know that.
I think you said it best, like double standards. Like everyone's asking for like so much for themselves, but they're not willing to do that for other people.
Oh yeah.
It's like sort of what stems in with this division.
It's fair to say that women have been copying the majority of views for a long time now, and they should have a safe platform to come forward and feel safe. But it's just how do you pick out which ones are abusing the system and which one are genuinely victims?
That's the bad part, isn't it? Because then the people, they're ruining it for everyone else that has the legitimate problems.
Exactly. What AH did, she set back the entire movement. Like, it became a point where, okay, yes, please come forward. You've got a story, but you need to have the evidence to back it up. Because if we just accept it blindly, it could happen again where someone's whole career or life is destroyed based on the words of one person.
And like that sort of can stem back in history, like to like Salem, like witch trials, how guys could just say a random girl's a witch and people would believe them. It's like the same sort of thing. You can't just believe people on their word without any substance there.
There's actually a whole deeper thing with Salem, actually. Do you want to go a bit more into Salem, Kristy?
Salem wasn't what it was cracked up to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, there definitely were people who believed in a lot of the like spiritual witchcraft sort of things there. Like you had people there from Barbados there, so it was there.
There was evidence of witchcraft.
But the actual witch trials, the famous thing that we all know about, It was a land grab. It was people who were turning on their neighbors because they were jealous and they wanted things.
Using each and every sort of excuse to be like, oh no, she's a witch. Put her away to take advantage of whatever they had.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Did you have to read the Crucible in high school?
I did, and that's what got me into Salem.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
The Crucible. It was actually very smart. Like, one thing I loved about learning about the Crucible was also learning about the context of when the Crucible was written, because Arthur Miller was a genius. He wrote the Crucible as more of a look into McCarthyism, because there was a witch hunt happening in America where, you know, every person was being accused of being a commie. No offense, Shakespeare, but it's better than reading some of the Shakespeare stuff. Yeah,
Shakespeare's overrated. He's great, but overrated.
Totally overrated. And he didn't even write it by himself. That's what is so annoying. Like, everyone's like, oh my God, Shakespeare's a genius. No, it was a group effort writing those plays.
Yeah, isn't like a claim that Shakespeare was never real or something? I've heard like some weird stuff. Like he was just composed of.
There's a lot of stories surrounding Shakespeare.
No, I feel like he was real, but because he was like the main writer, he just put his name on the plays, and everyone's like, oh my God, this man, visionary, amazing. Yeah. But it was actually a group effort where, you know, all the actors would actually collaborate and give ideas, and then they'll play off each other, and he would just write it down.
What?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Wow.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those people who have just gone away and they become like so popular, but it's like the truth is you didn't do jack.
Right.
It goes to show you how history can be like changed, as we were mentioning before. Like most people would assume, same with mythology, you know.
You find different versions of the same mythology, like, and it usually changes according to how history shaped it. And
then different cultures and how mythologies can impact, like, you know, how Rome adopted a lot of the Greek mythology and stuff. Like, a lot of it can be derivative and stem from different sources.
That's right. And also in Roman mythology, didn't they have a god for literally everything?
Yeah.
They had like a god of cupboards and god of cups and...
Yeah, horrible history said so.
Yeah.
I love horrible history.
God of shoes.
Why not?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
If you had to pick a favorite mythology, what would it be? Open question.
Oh, this is a good one. My favorite would have to be Egyptian.
Yeah, Egypt's pretty lit.
It is.
Wow.
I have like this woman at work, and she's just straight up like, because in year 7 you can, you know, teach an ancient culture, and my school is obsessed with teaching about ancient Greece, which, I mean, ancient Greek mythology is cool and everything, but I love ancient Egypt. But she said that she would never teach ancient Egypt because it's a death cult. And I was like, that's awesome. Whoa. So why?
Right. Yeah, like, Greek mythology is my favorite. I'm a little bit biased because I am Greek, but at the same time, like, Egyptian mythology is by far my second favorite. It's so fascinating.
Oh, Kristy actually has some very interesting stories from Egyptian mythology.
Oh, they're lit. I love them so much.
Please do tell.
Key to hear.
Okay. So there's a god, Osiris. He was considered kind of like one of the big gods. He's one of the big gods. He was, the ruler of Egypt, of the main Egyptian sort of like kingdom. And he's the one who ended up marrying Isis, which is his sister. So keep the incest going, you know.
Yeah.
That's fun. Anyway, he had a brother, the god Seth, who is like the god of like destruction and disorder and war and all that in the desert. And Seth was a bit pissed off, as you can imagine. It's kind of like the whole Zeus and Hades situation.
Right.
So Seth was pissed off. He was like, why am I ruling this barren area while my brother, you know, gets my sister and he's got this amazing kingdom where everything's prospering. So he wanted his brother gone. And he came up with this amazing thing where he made a really amazing coffin. And the idea was, and this coffin was amazing, it looked beautiful. So the thing was, he said, whichever god can fit into this coffin, I will gift to you. Osiris, being quite a vain man, was like, oh, I'm going to give it a go. So he goes into the coffin, and then Seth closes the coffin lid, throws the coffin into the Nile, and Osiris drowns.
Nice.
And
crafty.
So It's fun. Osiris drowns. Isis loved her husband so much, and she went to go find his body, and she did. But Set found out, got angry, and then chopped off Osiris's body into 42 pieces, and then hid those pieces all across Egypt. Isis then went and she found 41 of the 42 pieces, and funnily enough, the one piece she couldn't find was Osiris's dick. There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
Ironic.
But basically, she brought him back to life. But because he wasn't like fully constructed, he could never really come back to the land of the living, and that's why Osiris is associated with being like the Lord of the Dead.
Right, I heard about that, yeah.
She reconstructed a new penis for him so she could kind of hop on that thing and make a baby with him. And their baby was Horus.
Oh, Horus, right.
Yeah. And Horus, well, he wanted revenge on his uncle Set. And for years, Set and Horus were always battling it because Set took over Egypt. So Horus wanted what was rightfully his back. So him and his uncle kept on fighting. And then there's this really disturbing story about Set and Horus where Set wanted to embarrass and basically emasculate. He wanted to emasculate Horus.
Emasculate and make sure that he could never claim the throne.
Yeah.
Mm.
So he gets his young nephew to drink a lot. And then it says to his nephew, hey, Horus, why don't you come and share the bed with me? And essentially he rapes Horus.
Wow.
But turns out Horus actually wasn't really that drunk. And he kind of had an inkling of what his uncle was kind of up to. So he literally...
Hey, Horus!
So he literally caught his uncle's semen in his hands.
Oh, God.
What the?
It gets better.
Wait,
It gets
what?
better.
I
Yes,
needed a
yes.
drink for that.
Okay.
Poor choice of words.
Yeah.
And then Horus ran to his mum the next day with the semen and said, Mum, Uncle just tried to rape me.
Yeah,
As you can imagine, Mum was quite disgusted, pissed off.
of course.
And then
Yep.
she said, okay, Horus, here's what you're going to do. I want you to masturbate.
What is happening? What is this?
People are freaks.
This is
True
accurate.
story.
This is accurate. Okay. She says to her son, I want you to masturbate, and you know what your uncle's favorite food is. I want you to put your semen in your uncle's
Oh,
food.
God.
What is happening? This is going to turn into the human centipede or something?
It's actually Egyptian cabbage.
Lettuce.
Lettuce.
Egyptian lettuce.
Egyptian lettuce.
So anyway, next day, Set's minding his own, thinks he's just having some great food, his favorite food, but it's laced with his nephew's semen.
Oh, dude, wash your lettuce.
Anyway, Set still thinks he successfully raped Horus. And he's thinking to himself, okay, I'm now going to humiliate my nephew. So he calls on the Council of Gods in a way and says, hey, this guy's emasculated. He's full of my juice.
Oh, no.
He's full of my juice. And then the god of wisdom, Thoth, actually said, okay. If this really happened, I'm going to call upon the semen.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
So he calls upon the semen. He said, if Set's semen is in Horus, it should come out. So he does this thing, and of course, Set's semen does not come out of Horus, but Horus' semen comes out of Set.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And then Set got really embarrassed
And ran away.
and ran away.
These people
And
are so
then
kinky.
Horus got the throne.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
More
too
incest
surprised
than
that they
Game of
don't teach you that.
Well, yeah. It's even like when we teach like ancient Greek mythology in high school, because we teach in year 7. We censor the crap out of that thing.
Yeah,
Mm.
like modern retellings of Greek mythology is so tame.
It's so tame, and it
Oh,
really
yeah.
wasn't tame at all.
No.
Greek mythology is messed up too.
Like, I'm sure Daniel, the actual story of Medusa, disgusting. Wow.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Disgusting.
Deciding to
But-
of fighting over the city of Athens, Athena wins, and he goes, well, I'm just gonna rape bloody one of your temple like worshippers. And then Athena punishes her, not him.
I know. What the hell is that? Goddess of wisdom, my ass. What is that?
Ridiculous.
Imagine, like, we're teaching that story because kids love learning about Medusa. They love, like, the whole Gorgon thing. They think they're awesome, which is, yeah, Gorgons look pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the version that we told was that Medusa was super vain and had the audacity to say that she was more pretty than Athena, and then Athena got pissy about it.
Right.
See, that's just not right. And then what if you go and tell that story to someone else?
That's okay. My students know the truth.
Yeah, Chris makes sure to tell her students.
Do they know the truth about the Egyptian one too?
Oh, we didn't get to do Egypt. We've told them that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why is cannibalism okay? Like, we
Our
told them.
education system is lucky to have you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
You know what? I've always said that about Kristy.
So
The thing with
awesome.
Kristy, she's a natural teacher. That's her gift.
Thank you very much.
It's
Yeah.
it's
That's
true.
such a vital role in society, and I honestly think that teachers deserve to be recognized more and to be
They do.
compensated more, because right now the way it is in our country is appalling.
100%. And with
Yeah.
especially with how caring Kristy is and how much passion she puts towards helping her kids. Like,
Yeah.
because, you know, there's teachers that don't put in that effort, but she's one
Exactly.
that really, she goes well beyond the curriculum to really help these kids.
Exactly. Pretty much every night until 2 a.m, she's up helping her students.
That's so incredible.
It's
Yeah.
Doing
amazing.
like an amazing thing for the generations of the future.
Mm.
Which, trust me, like, it might not seem amazing when they're being really like pig-headed to you, but like they need it from you.
They need it. You
Yeah.
know what? And it makes me angry because some of the kids just don't appreciate it. And I'm just like, you know what? These kids.
They will, though, down the line.
There's definitely, I feel like some kids who
Some
do
kids do.
appreciate it, but I have noticed that, and this is a really strange thing to see. Like, I started teaching officially as a teacher in 2017. There has been such a massive shift in just the few years I've been teaching with how kids are acting in schools. I don't know what it is.
What's the biggest difference that you've noticed?
There's like
Yeah.
this sense of entitlement, almost like everything's kind of owed to them. And it's not, as I said, it's not everyone. And I want to really stress that. It's not everyone.
Yeah,
but there's
of course.
definitely this shifting attitude. And I feel like it's more in line with the climate today, where it's kind of like there's this Family Guy skit. And I think about it and I think how bloody accurate it actually is. Where, you know, there's this guy and he just got this really good job, but he, you know, he's about to address everyone he's working with. And the first thing he says is, I'm not going to thank you guys for this job because frankly, I deserve it.
Wow.
Mhm.
And then he goes, okay, and now I'm going to go over my trigger warnings.
Yeah.
And then someone's like, what's a trigger warning? He goes, that is actually one of my triggers. I'm now tweeting about you.
Oh yes, I remember that episode. It was so good. That's really good social commentary.
It is. It's so spot on. Like, oh.
I feel like Seth MacFarlane like sneaks him in and then just be like, oh, it's satirical, but he really means it.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
110%. Like,
It's like the Weinstein thing as well, I think. Like, made some sort of joke way back before Weinstein got, you know, outed. He was just sneaking them into Family Guy.
I feel like there has to be something that kind of counteracts what we're seeing a lot of today. I did tell this to Daniel, but my God, I got so angry in that Disney Loki series. I was offended. As a Loki fan, what they did to Loki was nothing short of a character assassination.
Yeah.
He was very
Oh.
different, wasn't he, compared to other portrayals of Loki?
It was so wrong. I've never seen a Loki with no balls like that before. He didn't do anything, and the whole show was about how much better female Loki was.
Yeah.
He even, like, in one episode hides behind Sylvie. And I'm just like, what the? Get your ass out here. Why are you
He
hiding?
didn't have the Avengers touch for sure.
I
Even
reckon
then, it was a tame portrayal, wasn't it?
it was.
I never actually watched it, but I heard that Loki was made a side character in his own series.
He was
He
a side
was.
character.
He was. They're setting up
100%.
the female Loki, which, you know.
Wow.
It's no.
That's pretty sad to hear because everybody was waiting for the Loki spin-off.
Oh my god, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
They announced the Loki TV series in 2019. I have been sitting there waiting for this show since 2019, and when it finally came out, I got so angry. I was like, this is ridiculous. My favorite character has been ruined. Now I don't even give a fuck what happens to him. I really don't care.
Right.
I don't
Yeah,
care
it's
what happens to him.
unfortunate.
It is a very unattractive portrayal, I can imagine.
Well, it's just not even Loki in a lot of ways. Like, they just completely changed him.
No,
It
that's
really wasn't 100% Loki from the beginning, was it?
So it was all of that character build up and then all of it was changed.
yeah. Oh my god, the first episode of Loki just spit in the face of 10 years of the MCU. That's fine.
Wow.
That's cute. Do that. Do you remember, like, when they had the Infinity Stones and they were using them as, like, paperweights?
Oh, yeah.
It's belittling the entire universe.
The MCU does that
they did
so
that.
much.
Yeah. First episode, they go to the TVA and someone opens up one of their drawers and they've got a whole bunch of Infinity Stones and they're using them as paperweights because they're that
No
common.
way. How did the fandom feel about that?
Some people thought it was kind of funny and others were like, basically, fuck you.
Because it was done as like a
Really?
throwaway thing, so like it moves on quickly
Because-
from it. So like I forgot about it until you
The-
brought it up then. But yeah, it really undermined everything.
The Infinity Stones are such an integral part to the story. They literally caused
We
death
had an
and
Infinity War.
destruction.
We had an Infinity War. And they're saying, well, you know what? Infinity War is not a big deal, guys, because
Those stones sitting in a drawer could kill someone. They could kill the world.
apparently not.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've always watched them because they're fun to watch.
Yeah,
Mhm.
same.
Entire
same.
series, and I just think it's cool CGI, it's cool storytelling, but like apart from that, if I was any more invested, I would be very offended.
I think my problem is I started my comic book love with DC Comics. And
Nice.
Yeah, and I remember reading something somewhere where they said fans of DC Comics, they're real fans. They get really invested, so they're not going to accept shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Me and Steven love DC too. Marvel's fun. And yeah, like I didn't mind the Loki series, but it's one of those things, the more you think about it, the more you're like, wait,
It's gonna
what?
piss you off.
Yeah.
After every episode, I was yelling at something.
And one of the things with Kristy is when she starts something, she'll see it through, even if she's sitting there scowling at the screen.
Well, that's amazing because at least you're giving it a shot and you're actually being analytical of it,
Yeah, but I feel like I lost some hours of my life with Loki. That was like, they even teased there's going to be a second season. I'm like, that's great. I'm not going to be there for it. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, speaking of, back to the astrology topic, Steven, what is your star sign?
I'm a Pisces.
A Pisces. Wow, water sign.
I'm a
Yes.
water sign too. I'm a Cancerian.
Is that
crab one.
sorry? So is that commonly known as Cancer?
Yep.
Okay.
See, it's a very hard star sign to work with. It's called Cancer, and we're represented by crabs. So
Never thought about it like that. That's hilarious.
I find it easier to say, I'm a Cancerian.
That's not.
Okay, so some of the traits of Pisces is that they're kind-hearted. They're so kind-hearted to the point where they're actually not exactly willing to say no to anybody.
I could definitely see myself like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I do struggle with saying no. I think I would rather run from that confrontation than say no directly.
Often in life, Pisces can find themselves at crossroads. And
I'm at crossroads right now, so
mhm. And sometimes their minds can be irrational but intuitive.
I know I'm irrational. I don't know about intuitive.
I'll say intuitive. I'd say you're pretty intuitive.
And they also seek union with the divine. They have an innate connection with the universe.
I do feel connected to the universe. I'll give you that. Connection with the
And
divine. That's
also-
me being since I was a little kid. That one's spot on.
One thing with Pisces is that they're actually the most intuitive and empathetic sign of the zodiac.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
That's nice.
And they have a hard time handling the harsh realities of the world.
Also true.
And sometimes they have a really hard time when they feel like they're being used.
Starting to get goosebumps now.
They love anything romantic, artistic, and mystical. They also love music, theater, and the arts, and they love the sea.
Well, you actually went to drama
Damn.
and was a great drama student.
Yeah, that's quite spot on. I'm not gonna lie. You've described me quite well.
They dislike detail, time constraints, and they sometimes dislike reality and telling the truth when they know it's going to hurt someone.
Yep. Yeah.
We actually had a conversation on white lies.
Yeah, we did have a conversation on white lies.
And as a child, they're natural daydreamers.
I'm still a daydreamer, so I think I'm still a child.
And they're also impractical when it comes to budgeting.
Yeah, that's so true. I've got my girlfriend doing all my budgeting for me because she knows that if I was left to my own devices, I would spend everything.
Oh, that's sweet.
How about Daniel? What star sign are you?
I'm a Gemini.
Gemini.
Yeah.
Gemini.
Geminis are the most talkative sign of the zodiac, and they're an air sign.
What does it mean that he's an air sign?
I'm an airhead. So like I think if I'm not wrong, each group of zodiacs fall under either like an earth sign, a water sign, an air sign, or fire sign.
Different elements. Yeah.
Sometimes Geminis are not comfortable with expressing emotion and they lack emotional resilience, but they have a versatile mind, and that's a great asset for them because they have a lot of ideas that flow in.
Yeah, I think a lot of that can be applicable to me.
You could definitely express his emotions more.
Yeah, I've always had trouble with that.
Oh, it's also, they're noted as being like tall and slender looking.
Well,
that is so what?
Steven's brother always called me Slender Man.
They're also noted as having piercing bird-like eyes set under tapering brows and a narrow face.
You're
Who's
just
looking at me right now?
What?
I'm not even.
She's actually reading from a book.
I'm reading from an astrology book.
That's amazing.
Gemini's dress sense is quirkily fashionable, with the male of the species often favouring a professional look.
They like to see.
Right? Yeah, you understand.
They like anything to do with books, theater, journalism, and the internet, and puzzles and games. He loves Sudoku.
I'm doing Sudoku right now.
What? Oh, what?
No, kidding. Sudoku's fun though.
They also use talking as a way of hiding genuine feeling, and they also have emotional burnout that can lead to deep depression.
What?
I can get burned out pretty easily.
And
Yeah.
the talking to hide the emotion.
Yeah, that's a lot of that's so accurate. Pretty much
Doing
all
it
of
right
them.
now.
Yeah, yeah,
Money in the bank is not important to Geminis.
that's true.
As a child, they're inquisitive and communicative, and they benefit from an intellectually stimulative environment. They dislike being bored or lonely.
Very true.
They would be good in a career such as journalism, commentating, broadcasting, or teaching.
Oh,
I've
well, I did
always said-
teach guitar.
Teaching would be awesome. Remember
Yeah.
music teaching?
Yeah, I definitely contemplated it, and I did teach guitar for a while. It was really awesome.
Dude, honestly, I think you teaching music would be awesome because you're so passionate about music.
Yeah, no, I love music. It's such an amazing way to express express yourself.
Kristy, she's a Cancer, and
Thank you.
Cancers are the greatest nurturers of the zodiac. They're the most motherly sign, and they're ruled by the moon.
Well, I think that shows through your passion through teaching, right? Like nurturing.
Yeah. So their mood, their personality swings between kind, caring, and passionate, and also tough. But they also can be prickly and full of self-pity.
Oh.
Woe is me.
See, the thing is, they can also be ambitious, but they yearn for approval.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
They have a strong desire to protect and nurture, but they also take a strong account of people's feelings and needs, which can also make them draw back from their own. So they really put people before themselves. Every paragraph here says that they're highly intuitive of other people's needs. So their biggest weakness arises out of of emotional sensitivity. They can become jealous and possessive.
Well, I don't mean to brag, but apparently the most prolific serial killers are Cancerians.
Nice.
I'm done putting others before me. No, I come first. Only me.
Well, apparently a lot of the serial killers who are Cancerians, they leave a mark that they want people to know, I freaking did this. Okay?
They're proud of their work.
Get me that approval.
Cancers love being at home, anything to do with water. They love sentimental things of value, and they love good food.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
They need a stable, protective environment during childhood, and they need reassurance of parental love. They make an excellent social worker, nursery nurse, nanny, midwife, teacher, housing officer, nurse.
I'm doing one of those.
Yeah.
That's so spot on.
Dinner parties, cooking.
Yeah.
See, these things are so
I like
accurate.
this. Our favorite sport is wrestling. I feel like Daniel's seen that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Daniel's definitely seen me and Kristy punch up a little bit.
Fight to the death.
Mm-hmm.
I win.
What about you, Kerry-Anne? What star sign are you?
I'm actually a Sagittarius Capricorn cusp.
So where she's born, she's in between like two separate zodiacs.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Growing up, anyone could say that I was a straight up Sagittarius, but now that I'm older, I'm definitely more of a Capricorn.
What does that entail?
So I'll read out the Capricorn traits.
Yeah, cool. She's definitely more of a Capricorn.
More of a Capricorn now. Devotes a tremendous energy to resisting change.
Yeah, what element are you again, babe? You're fire, aren't you?
I'm both fire and earth.
Fire and earth, yeah.
A fun fact about when I was actually born on the day of the summer solstice.
Nice.
Capricorn has a shrewd mind that can formulate long-term strategies, goal-oriented and controlling. This mind has mapped out a rigid path into the future. So they're wise and practical, and they rarely think outside the box. Is that accurate, Kristy?
Yeah, talk yourself up. Why don't you?
So it's not that they don't feel emotions, more that they don't really have the ability to express them.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's accurate. They feel.
Oh, I like this one. Capricorn is a control freak and often judges people according to the position they hold or what they can do to assist the Capricorn climb the social business. That is fucking true.
Okay, that's true. That's accurate. Yeah.
That is so true.
Okay, they rate success according to achievements in the material world rather than in terms of personal development. Wow.
I don't care if you become a better person. What else have we got? Dislikes, muddle, inefficiency, and rebel. Oh, wow.
They like order, rules, and regulations. They have a deep respect for money.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? It's a roast, but
it's going to a roast. I'm enjoying this now.
It's a very accurate roast, in my opinion. You know, Capricorn is actually the most ambitious and self-serving sign of the zodiac.
Ambitious is so accurate too. You really strive to achieve anything that you want. You're a huge go-getter.
Thank you.
So what significance does the moon cycles have on zodiac signs?
That's a great question. So the moon is the biggest ruler of the Cancer zodiac sign, but the moon plays a huge role in manifestation and meditation. So if you were to manifest the different moon phases, for example, the new moon is the strongest point for setting your manifestation goals.
It's almost like a cycle of your mind, right? And like a new moon, you can really.
So if you were to meditate on what you want to achieve during the new month, so if you were to set a goal, the new moon is when you'd want to set that goal. And then you have waxing crescent, waxing gibbous, and then throughout that cycle. And then the full moon is when you actually release the things that you want to release for that cycle.
That's really interesting. I've heard a lot about how the moon cycles have also impact on people's moods. but also the gravitational impact on Earth.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's
does.
any link to that.
It actually does. The moon also has a big impact on women. And there's a whole thing about did you know that the moon actually has an impact on women's menstrual cycles?
No, I didn't.
It does.
What do you know?
It does.
I remember you told me that, babe. That was really interesting. Because it
Mhm.
affects animals as well. Clearly, with wolves howling.
What
and,
kind of impact?
Well, women work on a monthly cycle, and so does the moon.
Okay, yeah.
The moon helps influence that. The whole moon madness thing, that's a real thing. And then you
lunatics.
have lunatics, and then you have moon retrograde and lunar eclipses, solar eclipses. They all have different impacts on our personality.
I've always felt like I've had some sort of connection to the moon, but
Mhm.
I just
It's-
couldn't put my finger on it. And whenever it was full moon, it just felt so invigorating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There really is a universal magic, for sure. And I've actually got my tarot cards here if anyone wants a quick 3-card reading.
I would love a 3-card reading.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, let me get that out quickly.
How does it work when they're not in front of you?
You channel the energy.
Okay.
Fun
Well, me
fact,
and you, babe, will have a close connection.
Hmm.
So that should be a problem.
Modern playing cards are actually based off tarot cards.
Are they really?
Yeah, fun fact.
Really? I didn't know that. Modern
It was,
playing cards are based on tarot cards.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's why some Pentecostal Christians don't like to use modern playing cards.
Oh.
Wow.
It's so fascinating.
Okay.
It just shows how everything derives from something else,
Mm.
Things are so much more connected than you
Okay.
think.
So for Daniel, I did a quick 3-card reading for you. Nothing specific, just 3 things that you need to know now. So right now, Daniel, you need to take time out from the world. Just spend some time on your own. You need to meditate, and you need to just discover where you need to be at this time, what you want to do.
Mhm. I think reflection is so important. It's something that
This is a time of
I need to do
reflection
more.
for you. As you know, hopefully we'll be coming out of lockdown soon. So during this time, it'll be really good for you just to find out the path you want to take. And then next up, you may need to ask for help or seek support or guidance. This is about nurturing yourself.
Yeah,
And-
I tend to not look for help too much, which can be a flaw.
And this card is an indicator that there is no shame in asking for help if you need to. You may need to seek some guidance, and that's absolutely fine because guidance is always there when you need it. And then the final card is a very positive one. You've got the card of rebirth. This is all about reinventing yourself, giving life to your dreams, and creating a new reality. That's very beautiful. So during this period of reinventing yourself, you're going to come out so much stronger and better, renewed.
I feel like Daniel's already on this journey. I mean,
Yeah.
starting off a podcast,
Yeah,
starting
that's
to write your own
crazy,
books and all
Kristy.
that.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you said that. I was literally just thinking the
I was
same
thinking
thing.
the same thing too. This podcast is something that we've been planning to do for so long, and
Mhm.
we've had so many ideas, we just never done a lot of them and have put them into fruition. And it was really during this lockdown when we were like, you know what? Why not just actually just take the step of doing this? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first card, doing something that you love,
Mm-hmm.
support, ask for help.
Yeah.
And you're doing that. You're getting your friends involved to come on your podcast, and you're working really close with Stephen on a few things.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's coming up beautifully for you.
That's
And even
amazing
Kristy,
reading.
she's here. She can see the cards. They're coming out from the dark to the light.
they actually are
which-
colored that way too.
Yeah.
Which deck are you using, babe? Using
The unicorn cards.
Oh, I love those ones.
Even though I can shuffle and I receive the messages, sometimes Christy's got really good intuition. So
Mhm.
sometimes she can receive messages that I sometimes block out. So it's always good having her with me because
That's
sometimes
amazing.
she can get messages that I don't receive.
And that shows how close your connection is.
My girlfriend would be really upset because I told her that we're going to do tarot readings tonight, and she said, "Can Kerry-Anne please do a reading for me?"
Oh,
So
absolutely,
She would
I
love a
can.
reading. Would you be able to do a reading for her?
Of course.
We'll be having her on soon as well, which is exciting.
Yeah, she's really looking forward to it.
Oh, that'd be
Same, dude.
awesome.
brushing up on serial killer knowledge.
Yeah. Gonna get
Oh,
dark.
I scared a teacher at my uni once.
Oh god.
I did a
Was it-
topic called representing crime. God bless my teacher, she was lovely. But she was trying to show, like, she had a whole picture, like all these pictures, she's trying to show the idea that you can't really spot a serial killer from a lineup. Thing is, I love a lot of true crime. So she had this whole album of different people going, oh, can you spot the serial killer? I'm like, yeah, sure. Carla Homolka, Ted Bundy. It's just like, what the hell? Just me casually naming every serial killer friggin' picture. She's just like, okay, I'm sorry.
I know.
Okay, so I've done a 3-card spread for Madanki as well. The first card that comes up for her is Passion. So the Passion card is all about following your dreams and doing what excites you. It's about going forward, about what fires you up in life. It's about opening your arms wide and saying yes to opportunity.
Well, she just got a promotion, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
You did. That's right.
It's about leaving the fine and
That's
normal
really
behind
awesome.
and living like your fabulous self, living your best life. It's about increasing your energy levels, feeling more alive. It's about energy levels being high.
Mhm.
It's a really positive sign. And then next up is the polarity card. It's about integrating your shadow side and your light side. So that's also a really good thing. It's about owning both sides of yourself.
I can definitely see how that applies to her.
Mm-hmm. So it's about also she's learning more about herself.
Figuring out how she can balance herself.
Exactly, and that's what's happening with her right now. She's learning to integrate more aspects of her life, and she's learning more. She's discovering more about herself, which is absolutely amazing. She's on a very beautiful journey right now. And then the last card she got is cycles. So with this, she's also realizing that life comes in cycles. There's an ebb and flow, and everything happens at its right time. Everything happens in its own time when it's meant to happen.
That's so poignant.
Mm-hmm. That's the final card. It's just about honoring that and knowing that there's a magic to everything, and everything happens as it's meant to, and it'll unfold at the right time.
I'm
beautiful.
sure she'd be listening to this and she'd be very psyched and excited to hear this.
Mm-hmm. It's a very beautiful reading.
Thank you so much.
She's on a
Kerry-Anne.
beautiful journey right now.
Very exciting for her.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks so much for that, Kerry-Anne.
Yeah, that was
You're welcome.
She's
amazing.
gonna love it.
Thank you both for being on. It was like an absolutely amazing show.
Thank you so much for having us on.
We covered so much. We knew this episode was going to be amazing. It was one that I was so looking forward to. And just the insight from you two, the passion that you guys have, such diverse knowledge and stuff. It was a really, really amazing conversation.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And Kristy, it was an amazing introduction to you. And Kerry-Anne, you're amazing as always.
Thank you so much.
It's a lot of fun, guys.
And we can't
was.
wait to have you back on.
Mhm. We've been looking so forward to this, and it's just such an amazing experience.
You guys made it so much more fun than it normally is. Trust me.
Oh, it was a blast. An absolute blast. It's not every day when you hear about certain Egyptian mythologies.
Oh God, no! Let's not go into that again.
We're bringing lettuce to the next party.
I'm gonna wash my lettuce with soap. I'm not. No man, no more lettuce. No more lettuce.
No more lettuce. It's done. It's done.
But honestly, it was just such an amazing conversation.
Really cannot wait for the next time.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Well,
guys.
cheers.
Thank you so much.